God's got his time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And God will do things at his time.
Yes. Whether it's 38 years or 38 seconds.
But if a journey is 11 days and you make it 40 years,
That's on you.
that's you. The option for acceleration was there,
Sure. Ooh.
right?
I'm going to give you a bike on Sunday.
You decide, you know? And like I said, you're the weakest link. There's a lot of people who want things. You can't handle the thing because you're not the guy. We don't want to be honest about that because we look at the people who've done the things and then we look at ourselves and we can see that we're not those people.
There's a significant difference.
There's a difference.
In your habits, the way you carry yourself.
We are so inspired by what people have, but we're not inspired by who people are.
Ooh.
Like,
yeah.
that's what should be inspiring.
What feels like abundance right now in your life?
I would say family feels abundant.
Okay, that's interesting considering, I mean, it's 2026. You lost your mom in 2024. So I wouldn't expect you to say that. Why the perspective?
This is an analogy that a friend of mine actually gave me. And he said, think about family as a rope. And within this rope, there are threads.
Okay.
And when you lose a family member, you lose a thread, but you don't lose the rope.
Sure.
And I think the mistake that I was making, or the feeling that I was overwhelmed by in the initial phase of losing my mom, was I felt like I was just left with one thread. But the reality was I'd lost a thread and I still had most of the rope.
All right, before we dive into our conversation, I just want to personally invite you to our monthly subscription and our membership. This is a space that we created for women who just wanted to belong, who wanted to just start somewhere, and who's looking for a community to be held accountable. What you can expect, we have monthly Zoom meetings where we come together, we pray, we fast, and we share our journeys of growth. We also have Tools Tuesday where we talk about our finances, we talk about things that are practical, how we show up in the workplaces, how we plan. And of course, we've got our Sunday walking club, which we love, where every month we come together physically, whether you're in Cape Town, you're in Johannesburg, Namibia, we come together, we walk 5 kilometers and we have a cup of coffee. And of course, our book club, which is exciting. We've got discounts, competitions, and discussions that we cannot wait to have. More than anything, this is a place of belonging where we want to make sure that wellness is not just an aesthetic, but is accessible to anyone. No matter where you're starting, there's a place for you. Simply click the link, join the membership for a monthly subscription, and become a girl pal. So let's get into our conversation. All right, welcome. Cheers.
Cheers. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
This is good.
That first sip. Nothing like that first sip.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. Hello, welcome to the Wisdom and Wellness podcast. Hi, Brenden.
Hi, Mpoomy. How are you, my love?
Oh, good. Thanks for joining on our first.
It's so weird.
It's formal. Yesterday you said something.
What did I say?
We were on a call. I had just started work, and you were like, "Ish, I forgot, Pella. When you're back at work, I'm dealing with a different person." What did you mean by that?
For sure. Like, because we've been on holiday. Well, you've been on holiday,
For like a
especially
month.
like in the whole of December. And yeah, like when you're on holiday, you are just this sweet konyana, just lovey-dovey. And it's beautiful. And then when you're back at work, especially also I was talking about interacting you within the work environment.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So interacting with you in that space is different because you know.
What?
You're being Mary Jane. So you're out here, you're a power woman and
I'm
it's beautiful.
Yeah, I think, was it because of the conversation we had? I think you brought a suggestion and I didn't like it. And I was like, I'll think of this. I'll think on that.
Yeah, so the way you said it, but also just
My aura.
Your whole aura was just different.
But you said something. I actually thought about it. You one of the things I used to say when we got married, I used to say, "Oh, I married the kindest man," right? And like, I really believed that. And then, you go through life. And then I was like, you were not kind, you were pretending, right? There was a time where I thought you're actually really not a kind person, or I think you should go back to being a kind person. But then I thought about it the other day when you shared that, that clip from Trevor Noah and how he distinguished the difference. Can you say distinguish and difference at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah. How he distinguished the difference between kindness and niceness. And then I actually realized, actually, you've always been a really kind person.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let you explain what Trevor said. But then also yesterday, it made me feel like, okay, I'm actually still a very kind person. I'm just, I'm firm. I'm not nice all the time, but I'm kind all the time.
Yeah, I think it was eye-opening. I think it's something that I've always believed, but I didn't have the words. So basically what Trevor was saying is that niceness is not always kindness.
Niceness is not always a good thing.
It's not always a good thing, but, I think we are called to be kind.
Yeah.
But you don't always have to be nice.
Yeah.
And I think, especially if you work with people, or you're doing any type of work that's where you're leading.
Yeah.
It's very easy to fall into the trap of wanting to be nice. And, obviously you want to be likable by your team. But sometimes the kind thing is to call things out.
Yeah, there we go.
From the moment you start to see, lento ngathi
Iphume
endleleni. So then you call it out. And that's actually kind, because what you're doing is you're teaching people to be better. You're helping them grow in their careers or in their space. And you're doing that by, sometimes being unnice.
Being firm, yeah. So I think that was great. Let's get into some icebreakers. I've got icebreakers for you. This is not our love journey.
There's a whole setup.
This is wisdom and wellness. And it's so, I'm also excited this morning. I haven't felt excited in a long time specifically about the podcast. And I think I shared a bit on social media, but that's not what this is about.
Yeah.
But when the charts, and I'm not a chart person, but when the charts came out last year, I was like, what? And it was just
people always say they're not chart people, but I feel like...
but I'm not a chart person.
No one is a chart person, but when you're on the charts,
it's kind of cool. You become a chart person.
Because it feels nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
To play on the earlier conversation, but it really does feel nice to be acknowledged and to be affirmed by an industry.
Yeah, but for me, we had no hopes of being on charts last year.
On the charts.
I did not know, and I was like, I just kind of buried my head. And so when I saw, it was just a validation that the work we've been doing for years, it's still, it reaps, not every year will you sow and do the same level of work.
Yeah.
But if you've done some good groundwork, it will reap even in off seasons. The Bible speaks about that we should have a harvest even in seasons of drought.
Yeah, and I think we've just also been desensitized to numbers and what it means. These days, you get 5,000 views and you feel like, oh, that's so little.
And this is 5,000 people. You
but
can't
it's
even fit
5,000 people. You wouldn't be able to fit them in this room. So
in our studio. We're no longer shooting at home.
No, 100%. Yay! We've done it. We've managed to grow into the space, and I think that's why I think that's why you were excited to shoot.
Maybe.
Because, before, the admin of bringing people into your home.
The kids telling them to keep, bribing them to keep quiet.
The poor kids, and they don't listen.
And then switching off the washing machine.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It was just, there was a lot of things.
Yeah.
It was beautiful in its own way.
Yeah.
And I think part of the success of the show was having to get over all those hurdles to do it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times we think that the glory days are going to be when it's smooth sailing and we're just cruising. But I honestly think the glory days are when you are working twice as hard to get to that place.
Okay, finally, my icebreakers. It's taken long to get here. 2025 in one word. Pick one word to describe 2025.
Yo. A mess.
Mess.
It was messy.
For me, what's the word when when renovations are about to be done and then they start digging and they find a problem in the foundation and they said, we're going to have to redo this part of the foundation.
Yeah.
What is that word?
I don't know. I don't know if there's a word for that.
Yeah, but that's the word where they're
catastrophe.
Just catastrophe. Oh yeah, after you've done building and they're like, there's something wrong with your roof. We need to find it in your foundation.
That's bad. No, it was a bad year. It was not bad. It was a hard year.
Yeah.
Oh, I always say don't say hard, but last year was really hard.
Yeah.
And not on a physical or a career level.
Emotionally.
Just emotionally, spiritually, it was so draining.
Yeah.
It was a lot. Yeah.
Okay, abundance snapshot. Share one small thing in life right now that feels abundant.
I think we would have to describe abundance first.
Okay, do you want to?
No,
According
you
to
can, because these are your questions.
So when I think of an abundance, and I mean, that is our theme for the year at Wisdom and Wellness, we come from flourish. And, you know, the way I look at seasons and times, for me, it's not month to month. It's not 12 months. It's sort of like a continuation.
Yeah.
And flourish was really about establishing the fruit of the Spirit, right?
Yeah.
Establishing the Holy Spirit in us who would develop fruits, you know, love, joy, peace, you know, character development.
Yeah.
And that's how we were rooted so that we could flourish. So with abundance, it's John 10, verse 10, where Jesus says, the enemy has come to kill, steal, and destroy, but I've come that you may have life and life more abundantly. And this abundant life doesn't just speak to material success, but it speaks about, one, eternal abundance, eternal life, where you actually accept him as Lord and Savior, and your eternity is guaranteed. But secondly, and for me, it's having dominion here on earth, right? I think everything always goes back to Genesis for me, that from the beginning of time, we were given the dominion to rule over earth and then to prosper, to be fruitful and to multiply.
Yeah.
So when I look at abundance, it's, do I have dominion in my life, in everything that I've been entrusted with?
Yeah.
Number two, am I fruitful? You know, is there fruit in everything, including, is there joy in my life? Is there fruit in everything that I am doing? Do I multiply my gifts? So when I see abundance, I look at all of that, but firstly from a character perspective, and then everything else I do, because it, for me, doesn't make sense that I'm abundant innately and then outwardly I'm not. Yeah. It can happen the other way around, where you have a lot of things to show, but you're not necessarily abundant.
Okay. I think that's a good place to
end it. Okay.
base the question. Okay, now ask your question.
Okay, your question. I have to go back. What feels like abundance right now in your life? A small thing, whatever. Well, I don't really believe there's such a thing as a small thing, but you get the gist.
I would say family feels abundant. And I mean, if I was to describe abundance, it would say more than enough.
Okay.
So I'd look at enough as like the base.
The starting point.
Yeah, or not even the starting point. That would be the goal, actually. Enough would be the goal. And then more than enough.
Wait, what's
is
enough?
Abundant. Enough is
not
what
begging.
You need. It's what you need.
Okay.
It's, enough, I would say, is what you need.
Okay.
So comfort.
Okay.
Right? And so abundance is luxury.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So you go from comfort to luxury. So I would say my family right now feels like a great luxury.
Okay, that's interesting considering, I mean, it's 2026. You lost your mom in 2024. So I wouldn't expect you to say that. Why the perspective?
I think the loss in itself it can go two ways.
Okay.
And that's the thing I think I'm learning about grief, is that you can either go to the other end of feeling like, and this is an analogy that a friend of mine actually gave me, and he said, think about...
Who's this friend?
Tabiso.
Okay.
Think about Mahab.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's two Tabisos.
Think about family as a rope. And within this rope, there are threads.
Okay.
And when you lose a family member, you lose a thread, but you don't lose the rope.
Sure.
And I think the mistake that I was making, or the feeling that I was overwhelmed by in the initial phase of losing my mom, was I felt like I was just left with one thread. So I thought I'd lost the rope and I was hanging on a thread. But the reality was I'd lost a thread and I still had most of the rope. And so that perspective change has made it feel like what an honor to have, you still
have your rope.
To have a father who loves me and who we can deepen our relationship now.
Yeah.
To have siblings who support me, who are there for me in ways that they never had to be, right? So, so I just feel like, and then in the same time also going through that with my close family. So you having a wife who's there and we learning to navigate what this is, because, unfortunately, this will not be the last time we deal with this. And so
That's a
the
realization.
development
Sure.
of that muscle is quintessential. And to go through also with our kids and just that journey, it's like a everybody journey.
And they say the most inappropriate things.
Kids are like,
Oh,
the kids are
Zanio
so
would
wild.
sit.
They are unhinged. They're just so unhinged. Like, they just say it as it is.
Like,
and
dead.
it's just like, dude, we don't say
not
that.
what you say.
We don't say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'd say my family feels extremely abundant. What would you say is a space of abundance right now in your life?
It's more fun asking the questions because being
That's not what
asked.
we're doing here.
Being,
This is not an
know,
interview.
this is a conversation. Being asked requires some thinking.
I think to not repeat what you shared, for me, rest feels abundant. Rest for me had always felt, I think for the longest time, and I don't wish this season away, I really chased a lot. And a lot of my identity was based on what I can do, what I can achieve, how much more.
Yeah.
And the idea of stopping and taking a break felt like it shook my identity a bit. Like it felt like, no, like what if I lose it all? What if like what if I'm not the person anymore? You know? Like I felt it's almost as if like I felt like I'm the one who's holding it together.
Yeah.
You know? And one of the things that I guess bringing the podcast in, one of the realizations, I think someone shared this with me, it doing well in a season where I felt almost like I let myself, I didn't let myself down. I made a decision that this does not take a priority right now in my life.
Yeah.
Is that God held it together.
Yeah.
You know, God held it together and things continued without me being the one who's running all the machines. So going back to rest, I've been very intentional about resting in God and allowing him to be the one who moves things, allowing him to be the one who initiates things and allowing him to take care of things. This has also shaped our marriage where as a firstborn, it's like, yes, you're the father of the house. Yes, you're my husband. But at the back, it's like, I'm just waiting to quickly take over in case you don't do it. You know, I think as firstborns, we always have that thing where at the end of the day, you're all you've got, right? I don't know if it's like a leadership mindset or just growing up and it's got really nothing to do with our parents per se, or it does, but there's always that thing of...
I think it's got to do with the responsibility.
The responsibility.
And,
yeah, the responsibility where you always have to feel like you're on guard. So you could be on holiday, but you're on guard and you're watching. So I think the Holy Spirit has really ministered and helped me a lot to calm down, to know that I'm not holding everything together, to know that there is life outside of doing big things and great things, that there is life in slowing down, there's life in switching off, there's life in playing. For me, that your father taught us something, and he said, there's a scripture that says, restore to me the joy of my salvation. And he said, one of the prayers we should say is, restore to me the joy of my marriage. And I started using that scripture, and I'd say, restore to me the joy of playfulness, restore to me the joy of. And I've really watched God restore the joy of a young girl, a playful girl, a rested girl, a trusting girl. So ultimately, when I say rest, I really mean trust, because you cannot rest if you do not trust.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think it's actually a crux of caring. You know, I think the feeling or the wanting to hold on to something tight is because you care so much. And I think the goal should be to find the balance of not choking it. Right? Like, and it's something that we see even with our kids. Like, there's certain things that they care about, but they care about it so much they become obsessed. And it becomes a bad thing, right? But you don't want to take away that caring, that passion is. And so I think it's quite vulnerable of you to share. But I really think it's rooted in so much passion.
Yeah.
And like you care about things so much that before something falls apart, you will carry that load, right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes you get to a point where you want to carry the load before it's even falling apart. It's like, you start to see. So yeah, so it's interesting.
I think you said it with our kids. I don't know what they were doing or what they were caring about, because they have like obsessed minds.
They do too much.
But we both have a bit of obsessive personalities, because it's like once you get in the studio, like you're untouchable. Like I would literally be standing next to you and you won't even hear me.
Because I care so much.
Because you care so much. So they're the same. And I remember, I think I was frustrated and I was asking you to call them out or whatever. And you said, look, I know it's frustrating, but what we don't want to do is we don't want to take that away. We want to just nurture it and teach them the discipline of how to, I guess, use control. There we go.
So you don't want just a lamb. You want a lamb.
Oh yeah, they're questioning everything we say.
Yeah, and so my thing is, again, it's the analogy of the lion and the lamb. I want a lion that can be a lamb. I don't want a lamb that could never be a lion, because the lion is going to be needed at some point.
Yeah.
And I want to know that you have those tools.
That's important.
Yeah.
So our theme at church is divine acceleration.
Divine acceleration.
Ours is, I think it all works together, but I've also been watching the prophetic theme just in the church globally. I think we're all saying the same thing in using different words.
Yeah.
So I'm very eager to see how God reveals that, because I think we may say one thing and expect one thing, but God is just like, well, watch me show you what this really means.
Yeah.
But there's a word you shared on New Year's Eve. I usually spend New Year's Eve at home, but this time I was like, I'm going to church, and you're crossover. And you shared a word after the declaration of divine acceleration. And I wanted you to actually share it here, because I think it was so important.
I don't even remember. What did I say?
You don't remember? Shit, it wasn't you speaking.
I think I was so I was just talking about, I think really I was more focused on our part because God can accelerate things, right? We know that. We've seen that throughout scripture. We've seen God move quickly.
Yeah.
But I realized that in this chain of this whole chain, we are the weakest link.
Okay. In this chain of acceleration.
We are the weakest link.
Okay.
So the only part that's gonna fail is us. Right? God's
Wait, you can't keep moving forward. You can't just drop bombs and then like move like you didn't just say something that's life-changing. The only part that can fail
is us. Yes. So
okay, wait. One, because the word has been spoken and the word does not change and it does not return void, so it will be fulfilled.
Yes, so we know
whether
that
we participate or not.
The word is solid.
We know the word is solid.
We know the source is solid.
We know that the source is solid, which is God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So the only thing that
could fail is us.
Right. Okay.
And so I think I was speaking to how we often fail, and there's always space. There's always a waiting period between the snapping of a finger.
Yeah.
It's like
there is a lag.
Sound travels through waves and whatnot. So it's reflections that we're hearing. It's reflections that we're seeing. So people are like, oh, how is space dark if the sun is there? Because there's nothing to reflect the light.
Okay.
So we understand that between us
through mathematics
hearing,
and come through science.
between us hearing, and so rather between God speaking and us hearing, there will always be a lag.
Sure.
And my prayer was that may we not fall into that lag. May we not lose hope, because between the word being spoken and it being real to us,
coming to pass,
we somehow lost our way, right?
Sure.
So as a part in this equation, you would have failed by not having perseverance, by not waiting that extra day. Like we pray and we say, oh God, the Bible says pray without ceasing.
Yeah.
So you pray, and at the last minute you're like, oh, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I realized, there was a day where I literally was praying God for like money, right? Because it's just like, God, I need money.
Yeah.
I need money. And then I started to be more specific. I was like, I need this money by the end of the week. And then by like Thursday.
You got the money?
No.
Okay.
I was starting to make alternative plans.
Sure, okay.
Because I was just like, through my knowledge, I don't think
He's going to come through.
I don't think this is going to work. But that was me failing. And I caught myself and I was just like, I was about to call my brother and be like, yo,
Dude.
dude, you don't happen to have R1 million. But I realized that, you know what I'm actually doing is I'm seizing.
Sure.
That's what I'm doing. And so, because I didn't even give him the full 7 days. And how many times do we say, God, this year you're going to accelerate? If you say God's going to accelerate you this year, then you need to give God the whole
Up
year.
until the 31st of December.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, be diligent throughout. Let there not be a moment where you're not doing your part.
Ooh.
Because we know, like I said, the source is reliable.
It's solid. The word
is solid.
reliable.
So the only thing that can fail
It's you.
is you.
It's you.
And that's just for me what I felt. I was just like, we're gonna fail, and we're gonna blame God.
You know, funny enough, yesterday, at the prayer meeting, the word that was shared about was praying against procrastination. But I love the intentionality that the prayer was not, we bind procrastination, but it was so practical. Basically, if you go to Proverbs, the fool that Solomon's talking about is the one who sleeps too long, the one who does not know when it's time to plant, the one who doesn't discern seasons and stuff. And so what you're saying is so true, is that sometimes we pray for things, but then we lazy, or we don't show up, or we don't pray, or we're not the people, or we don't prepare.
We don't exhaust. Or Pastor Madi said something so powerful, and he said, but he was talking about the fool, right? And he was like, the fool had resources, but he wasn't, resourceful. So a lot of times we're not resourceful.
Yeah.
So, and this is the advice I always give up and coming musicians, because they'll be like, dude, I've tried everything. And I'll be like, have you tried everything?
How many songs have you recorded?
Because have you exhausted every tool available to you?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we don't want to do that. You know what we want to do? We want to play God's role. We don't want to play our role.
No.
So I'm not going to exhaust my options. I'm going to now start going into God and go God's lane and being like, God, I think you should be doing this. And it's like, bro, you don't even use your TikTok. Yeah. But the idea,
but it's true, though.
The idea is we need to exhaust our resources before we can blame, right? Yeah.
I love that.
Can I just add one more thing?
Sure thing.
So my dad actually mentioned something, because I was telling him about this word and just basically what we're doing this year and the goal. And he was like, we were basically talking and we're saying, God doesn't always move fast, right?
Okay.
And I don't want to take credit, because, I don't know if this is theologically sound. But what I said was, I would rather...
Yeah.
I said there's a difference between God taking 38 years to heal and you spending 40 years in the wilderness.
Wait, there's a difference between God taking...
38 years. Okay. So God's got his time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And God will do things at his time.
Yes. Whether it's 38 years or 38 seconds.
Mm-hmm. But if a journey is 11 days and you make it 40 years...
That's on you.
That's you. You understand?
Yeah.
So the option for acceleration was there.
Sure. Ooh.
Right?
I'm going to give you a bike on Sunday.
So, and that was for me, was like at the heart of what we're saying, is that the option for it going quicker is there.
Yeah.
It could go longer.
Yeah.
But you decide, you know, and like I said, you're the weakest link. And so if you can just, like the kids say, lock in.
Just lock in.
You know, like just lock. Today, I was at the gym.
Yeah. I was wondering what that was
feeling
about.
So philosophical. I was just like, Am
what
I
happens
Paulo,
at the gym.
Am I Paulo Coelho? What's going on?
You
And I
plate
had,
up.
this is my quote.
Okay.
Mpoomy.
Is this your quote?
This is a quote.
Guys, if you're
that
going to
I
use
came
this,
up with.
please
So
quote.
Please, when I use this quote, you better quote me.
Quote Sir Brenden.
And it says, only a foolish tree grows its roots above the ground.
Wait, I didn't see that. Sorry.
I just wrote it on my phone.
Oh, I thought it's the other thing that you said. Okay, say that again. Sorry.
Only a foolish tree grows its roots above the ground. Right?
Okay.
And this was speaking to locking in and going into a secret place. And I realized, because I was like, oh man, I've been so committed to the gym, right? But I haven't posted a single post about I'm going to the gym.
Yeah.
Or just smashed this workout. Or I've just closed my circle.
It's like 5 a.m.
You know, like I haven't done any of that. And I realized, because this is the roots.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
This is meant to be the roots. It's not meant
for
to
everyone.
be the fruits of this tree.
Sure.
And a lot of times we want to grow the roots above the ground. So you want to show your hustle and your consecration, and you create a brand
Out of consecration. Yeah.
And it's like, that was never the fruit. The fruit is something that's beautiful and colorful.
Yeah.
But when we romanticize struggle and you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
It loses its tastefulness.
Sure.
And yeah, so I was just thinking to it, and I was just like, you know what? I think we need to get out of an era where we can only do things if it looks like fruit.
If it looks good, yeah.
And we can't do root work. We can't go underground. You can't do dirty work. You can't get your hands dirty.
Yeah.
You can't do it for no reward.
Which actually I think has made it hard for, I hate saying a younger generation, but what's made it hard is that because the dirty work, and I mean, when we were in our teens, 20s, and our parents, when they were doing the building, it was not being captured.
Yeah.
Right? And for the most part, maybe what was captured or what was shared is the fruit, right? And so perhaps then it's become harder for the TikTok generation to do the hard work and the dirty work because you cannot capture that. It's not good content. It's not exciting. So then it feels like this is meaningless. Where's my purpose? Because you feel like the purpose is the fruit, but really
100%.
the purpose is the root. Is the root.
I was having a conversation with a friend of mine. He's single. And he's talking about dating.
Which friend is this one?
It's a friend. I will not name him.
I want to know him so I can hook him up.
I'll tell you, must be a Lindley. And he was just talking about, like, you know, his relationship. And he was like, dude, you know, I was so honest, I was so transparent, I was so vulnerable. And I was just like, that's the problem.
What do you mean?
Why are we being vulnerable with people who aren't our wives?
Okay.
No, like...
I get you, but then how
But I'm just saying, culturally,
I get you.
It's like the narrative is, oh, I want a vulnerable man. But no one wants a vulnerable man.
Nobody wants a vulnerable
no
man.
Single woman
Wants a vulnerable
man that crumbles or shows that they're crumbling.
Yeah. That's the honest truth.
That's the honest truth. That's what I've found. I found
Hey,
that...
the last time you said something like this, listen, to show us, hey,
we got
you don't make the rules. Don't be mad at me.
3 million views, though. We got 3 million views, though. So, but like, my whole point is this.
Yeah.
Is like, we also need... Vulnerability is a root.
Yeah.
For me. It's not...
And it's earned.
It's earned.
Yeah.
It's
Jesus wasn't even vulnerable with all his disciples.
Exactly my point.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to control that. You have to control how vulnerable you are with whom.
Yeah.
Like if I'm dating, there's no need for you to know my salary.
Yeah, I guess.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Know the salary.
Because
when do you know the salary? Premarital counseling.
Towards marriage.
Okay.
I would even say after marriage.
Brenda,
Here's
come
the thing.
on.
No, look, I'm not saying don't know my finances. Like in terms of where I'm standing. If I have debt, those are things that premarital, you should share those things. But like, in terms of like, here's the thing, Mpoomy. If you know that I make 5,000 Rand, right? And somehow, by God's grace, I buy you...
I actually don't know how much you make.
Exactly. And that's why I'm so happy.
Do you know how much I make?
I mean, I have an idea.
Nah.
Because it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
What my thing is this, is that...
Hey, we're not saying have secrets.
Not have secrets. Like, you're free to look at any point. But my point is this, is that when when you're dating someone and they know exactly how much you make, they start to compare. So then, do you understand? It becomes a comparison thing. We should be getting to know each other. You shouldn't know that me not having water is because vele angnama. Like, no, think about it though.
So why
Like,
don't you have water though?
Estima Salvi though. Come on,
So
man.
why don't you have water? What are the reasons?
No, like you gotta think. Oh, maybe he's into fitness. This
why he's
is
not
a
eating a
wellness
burger.
king. I'm dealing with a wellness king. And if you listen, that's why I'm saying, Guti, when you listen to a lot of our parents and their marriages that we're now trying to look at and saying, oh, but you know, they used to see each other for 2 hours a day. What we're trying to, but it's like they were built on those kind of values where people showed fruits before the root.
But also, courting, if you court gahle the right way, you never get to be with the person together without a third party.
Yeah.
And meaning, if there's a third party, there's certain places you won't go to. Like, you can't be vulnerable. Like, if you and I sitting and my mom or whoever's sitting here, like, we can be truthful, we can be honest, we can get to know each other. But there's certain conversations that we just can't go there because we're not ready, because we're still courting.
Exactly.
Only once you've crossed the line of courting, then are you able to be intimate, and then it's just the two of you. But we're not doing dating that way anymore. So that's why,
It's changed. Everything has changed now.
You shifted my direction, but I want to. It's okay. I love this. I wanted to go back to. I was listening to a podcast. Oprah and Adam Grant.
Okay.
And they had a guy who called in. I didn't get his name. And he's like, he teaches students to play chess, right? And he was talking about how there was a time where he was looking to be like the champion of the chess tournament or whatever. And he had told like some chess guru or whatever. And basically the chess guru watched this guy lose. And this guy's really great, but he was trying so hard to be a chess champion. And then afterwards, the guy is saying, well, you lost because you're trying so hard to be a chess champion. Why don't you be that person? And that's a conversation we often have.
I love that.
Right? We also often have. And I think you came back and you said that, this year you don't have any goals. This year you just want to be that person, be the person. And my response was, because when you become the person, you're content. So it's never so much about the thing, getting the championship, because you already feel like a champion, because you already behave like a champion. So what does that look like for you this year?
It's one of these unteachable lessons where you realize, I mean, there's this whole saying, I don't know what movie it's from, but basically this guy's like, you can't handle the truth. And the thing is, a lot of people who want things, you can't handle the thing because you're not the guy,
Yeah.
And we don't want to be honest about that. Like, we don't want to be honest because we look at the people who've done the things, and then we look at ourselves and we can see that we're not those people.
There's a significant difference.
There's a difference.
In your habits, the way you carry yourself, the things you're willing to do, not willing to do. Oh, I heard something yesterday. If you're young, guys, we're going to quote Pastor. I have to quote Pastor Muddy. He said,
Pastor Muddy's been on a...
he's been throwing bombs. He says, Guti, he doesn't get when a young person is supposed to do something and then he says he's not around. He says, come back.
And that's the thing. It's like we are so inspired by what people have, but we're not inspired by who people are.
Ooh,
like,
yeah.
That's what should be inspiring. Is, how does this person manage to get 9 hours sleep every day with such a schedule? How does this person stay so lean at their age? How does this person not get ill? How does this what are those things? Again, it's the root. So the only way you can get that stuff is to have relationship and to understand. And that's what I'm understanding. And that's why I've sort of brought close to, I realize that a lot of the things that I want, I'm not even the guy to have those things.
Is that a hard realization, or is it like, okay, sure thing, challenge on?
I actually think it's...
Oh, exciting.
No, it's not exciting, but it's what's the word? It's a relief. Okay. Because I know that there's a solution for that, right? It's not that you don't deserve it or you're not worthy.
Yeah.
It's that you haven't gotten to that place.
You know, I've felt this way for some time now.
What?
Like, I've felt that I am the person for.
That you are the person. Yeah, but your life reflects it.
Yeah, like I have when I was trying to think, okay, what is my, I guess, big thing that I wanna achieve or get or do in the new year? There's really nothing. I wanna just be more of the person. Like grow deeper.
But again, it's that unteachable lesson because what you would have told me, right?
Yeah.
Is that, Brenden, you don't need another hit song.
Yeah.
Or you don't need for your career to think it's not going to fill that cup.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is that you don't know.
You don't know what you're talking
You don't know
about.
what it feels like. I've seen this happen many times. And so it's like, I have to do the multiple hits to get to a point where it's like, this does not define
It doesn't solve the problem.
So you have to get to the top of the hill.
Yeah.
To realize that I'm not the person I thought I'd be. And so surely that wasn't the solution.
Sure.
Right? So you can tick that off. Guti, this is not the one.
Yeah.
Right? And so now I can focus on saying, what are the people that I strive to be like? Or what are the things that I want? Who are the people?
Yeah.
Because that seems to be the thing,
Who are
right?
the people? What are they
The type
doing?
of marriage I want.
Yeah.
What are these men doing, right? So now I used to look at these men are so boring. They do all these
So cheesy.
They're so cheesy, and it's like, oh, I gotta get cheesy. That's
just
the
be
secret.
cheesy, sir.
Oh, okay, I gotta be more cheesy.
Yeah.
I've gotta do all these things. I gotta hang out with these kind of people.
I gotta go to the men's
I've gotta go to
conferences.
men's conferences.
Yeah,
Oh my god, like.
It's simple though. It's right there. It's
That's
simple.
what I'm saying, Guti. It's such a relief because you start to realize that it's doable.
Yeah.
And it's like
And the principle doesn't change just because you don't like it.
It's just that you don't like, and it's because you're looking at the wrong goal. Yeah, well, you're looking at the fruit, not paying any attention to the root.
Sure, looking at the fruit, not paying attention to the root. So I want to go back to not so wise you. This is important, right? Not so wise
You
you.
want to drag me?
No, I'm not judging you. It's reflection. And I think it's always important to reflect because it offers someone who feels like they could never be that person an opportunity to see, go to, oh, okay, you start somewhere, I'm not so bad.
Yeah.
There was a time where we would have a conversation or a fight or whatever, disagreement, and you'd be like, this is just who I am, right? And it used to just irk me. It's like, this is who I am. This is how I grew up, what. And today I was looking at personality versus character, right?
Yeah.
And personality is basically your innate reaction. It's just how you show up. It's just what you're used to, your default tendency, natural inclination, starting point. It's basically your starting point. It's not necessarily your destiny.
Yeah.
I often find people who rely on the personality don't get that far in life. That's the first thing. Second thing is character.
It's pretty harsh. That's not nice. That's not nice at all.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
It's the truth. Imagine if I did what I want to do based on my personality.
It wouldn't work.
It doesn't work. It's not sustainable, you know? The second part is character. So I learned today that character is actually a developed skill.
Yes.
Right, and it's a learned ability. It's your values versus your instinct, right?
Yeah.
And here it says personality is how you respond, and then character is how you show up on a hard day.
Correct.
So now I want to speak to the person one, you who used to say, "This is just who I am," versus the person now who speaks a lot about character. And I just kind of want to know that, almost like that gap, that bridge.
Yeah.
What has happened? What has changed? Where, in hindsight, where were you at then versus where you're at now?
That's a good question. First of all, girl, clock it.
I'm still so confused about.
Hey, man.
It is what it is.
We're here. We're with the
We're
kids.
drinking our own coffee, so clock it.
So I think it's growth.
Mm-hmm.
I think you nailed it on the head. And I mean, as you're speaking, when you watch movie, what do they call the people?
The main character.
The characters,
The characters, yeah.
right? Because it's a role. So and I think that was I didn't understand, Guti. This is an assumed role, right?
Okay.
So sometimes when you show up in spaces,
Yeah.
you assume a role.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing.
That's your responsibility.
You're not bringing your baggage. Like, you understand?
Yeah.
I can't show up here and bring my baggage.
Yeah.
Which obviously then defines my personality.
Sure.
I'm this way because I grew up like this, because it's how if I'm in a room that requires a certain character, I need to assume that role. And so I just was not familiar with this concept at all. It just was not for me. I was, again, and I think it's that whole train of, which is beautiful, because again, a lot of these things, we make bad decisions because of good intentions.
Okay.
So I've always strived to be authentic.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But being authentic doesn't mean like read the room. You know what I mean? As a Christian, right?
Yeah.
It's like so many things in the world are wrong.
Yeah.
But it's not always your place to be pointing stuff out. One, you don't have the depth
Yeah.
and knowledge,
Yeah.
perspective,
Yeah.
experience to be pointing those things out.
Yeah, bird's eye view.
Like, so there's so many things. And I'm not saying it's not wrong. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying it shouldn't be pointed out.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, are you the person?
Yeah. Were you asked and assigned?
Do you understand? Do you have the relationship?
Yeah.
Do you have the love which is required as the sort of basically the foundation of this conversation?
Yeah.
Are you basing it off of that? So you haven't known people enough to love them. So how can you correct them lovingly? So that was my thing. You would tell me, oh, I think you should be more. You should consider this. And I'd be like, no, this is who I am. And I thought that was enough to make it in the world. Like, as long as I show up as who I am, the world's gonna change for me. That's
all right.
That's
Brenda lot.
the whole world.
Yeah, it's just gonna be like.
It's just gonna be like, oh, Brendan's here now. Let's switch it up. Let's wrap it up. Let's do a new script.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not the case.
Yeah.
You can change the world, but and this is why I like that the world says we are in the world, but not of the world.
Yeah, the word said, yeah.
So there is a part of us that needs to coexist. That's why it says, like a righteous man finds favor with God and with man.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can't just find
favor with God in the heavens, but
there's
on earth it's
part,
like
you live here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's within your best interest.
I gotta like you.
It was within. This is why Jesus sat with tax collectors.
Yeah.
To be relatable to them.
To change the world.
Because it's like, lo muntu lo hlezi athetha. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like,
why would I want to be like you?
like,
You're always mad.
But it's like when I know that you also understand our social settings, our social things that we start, like, the game or whatever. Like, it becomes more relatable.
Yeah.
You build a bond of love.
Yeah.
And then you can sort of deal with.
We said something that wanted to bring me to the point
I'm
where...
saying so much.
Oh, you're saying a lot. This is so good. This is so good. No, this is really good stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I also think I'm grown past the part where I want to be politically correct.
Hey, man. God is still doing that work.
And, I'm also always open to changing my mind.
100%.
I'm very good. I love changing my mind. I love going back and thinking, that was very young of you. That was immature of you. Or, okay, that wasn't... But... Imagine not challenging concepts, not asking questions, not opening conversations because you're scared of being wrong.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally...
What's the point? And then what's the real point of living? But what I wanted to say is that we want to do... Oh, you were talking about the world changing for you or something like that. And sometimes we think that we can do... Because Mpoomy has arrived... and she's like this, and these are the circumstances I grew up on, God is going to change his laws or his principles or his word for me just because this is how I cry and this is who I blame and this is what I do.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you have to, even with God, you have to adhere to his principles and you have to adhere to his laws so that you can get the outcome that you desire. Your tears don't shift an outcome. Your trauma, unfortunately, does not shift to the outcome. It's valid, but it does not shift the outcome.
100%.
Your excuses, your reasons do not shift things.
Yeah.
They don't change the law. They never will change the law. So
Yeah.
it's beautiful. It's great to acknowledge those things. But when you want to start shifting things and when you want, I guess, your life to move and to turn around,
Yeah.
unfortunately or fortunately, there's principles and laws that you have to adhere to. And that's what all the people, I guess, who you feel are living abundantly or are powerful or are doing great, they just adhere to the laws.
They do. God can do all things.
Yeah.
God's only limitation is us.
Yeah.
The only thing that he left and said, I cannot override is our
your
free
will.
will.
Yeah.
So for as long as we choose to not be the person, you can, again, I hate to say it, but you can pray as much as you want. But if you don't follow the steps, it's like, again, there's this analogy I think that my dad used to say, and he was like, there was a person who, they were in the desert and they were thirsty and there was a glass of water and they saw the glass of water and they were like, oh God, if you could just quench my thirst. And that person died of thirst because they just had to drink it.
Yeah.
The laws already exist.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, just drink the
Drink
the water.
Do
Again,
this part.
in the establishment of that, God basically gave away the right to interfere with earth.
Yes.
Because he said, let them have dominion.
Yes.
Let them rule over. Right? And so, excuse me. So with that whole thing, again, it's like with the law thing, it's like God is not going to come down and put water in your mouth. However, he will partner with you with the laws of the earth to make sure that your prayers get answered. And that is essentially what prayer is. When Jesus was teaching the disciples to pray, he said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. So us praying is partnering with God so that whatever's happening in heaven can happen here on earth. But he personally is not going to come roam and make it happen. But we have to be the people who can partner with him so that the kingdom of heaven is here and operates here on earth. 100%. But he's not coming down. So we need to start being the people that he can partner with.
And this is not to say we don't believe in miracles.
Yeah.
Because
no, but part of miracles is literally the Holy Spirit working with you to make things happen.
I understand, but what I'm saying is that, it's so easy. People would be like, yeah, but God parted the Red Sea.
Yeah.
And so he can do things that's outside of gravity and whatnot and principles that exist on earth.
Yeah.
But the point is this. The point is you still have to get to the Red Sea.
You still have to get to the Red Sea.
And you gotta
exhaust partnering.
Gotta exhaust every resource that's available to you. That is why the friends brought their paralyzed friend through the roof.
Through the roof,
Right? It wasn't enough that they were gonna bring him.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough that they were gonna try and get in the front door.
Yeah.
They had to exhaust every available resource to say, this is how I'm gonna get it done.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying is that, there's a huge responsibility that's on us to really take place. And it's such a beautiful thing because I think in that we really do start to take the character of God.
Yes.
Yeah.
We start taking the character of God. Okay, we're about to finish. I want to reflect on a few things. How's the journey of opening the wellness house? We're reflecting on last year.
Yeah.
We're shooting in the wellness house. How's the journey of opening the wellness house, launching Sunday coffee, Anino's back, growing our team. Maybe how's the journey of Sunday for you? What are you hoping for this year?
It's exciting.
Yeah.
I think it's different.
Okay.
It's different. My life has always been, and not to be, I don't want to hype it, but it's always been big.
Okay.
And by big, I mean it's always felt like it's bigger than it actually is, in terms of the perception of it, right? Because I got into the music industry through idols. And I had 100,000 followers as a 19-year-old.
Crazy. When Instagram and TikTok were new.
Yeah, when
Twitter.
It was crazy times.
Yeah.
And so everything I've built, I've sort of built from that perspective.
Okay.
But to go into a whole industry that I'm a newbie.
Yeah.
I have very little understanding of. Like, when I go to like a coffee convention, it's not like I say, "Oh, I'm Brenden Praise," and people are like, "Oh my gosh, love your work." They don't know.
okay,
They don't
so
know.
what do you do?
Yeah, so it's kind of like learning from like really the fundamentals, and I think there's a beauty in that. And I think, what's interesting?
What?
I think I'm going back in time in that when you realize that the way that technology has advanced has robbed us of understanding processes.
Yeah, process, patience.
Like people don't know how stuff works. Like people drive, they don't know how gears work. They just think the car just moves, right? And
Not mad at that.
and so you're one of those people.
One of those people.
You're one of those people. But like starting a business
Yeah.
will teach you how things work. And I think it's been beautiful in that. It's been hard, obviously, because there is work to be done, and you getting into a new industry and you're learning so much. And like who Amanda always says, you're building the plane
As
you
you're
fly
flying
it.
yeah.
So yeah, that's been that journey. How has it been for you?
It's been exciting. I think I'm in my right off my alley. This is what I enjoy. I really enjoy the background work.
You like building stuff.
I love building. Look, I mean, when I left home, Nuri was building a shop. It's called Flamazing Shop.
Huh?
Yeah, so she
For her
found this
dolls.
thing for her dolls. It's called Flamazing. So she found this poster that's written Flamazing, and she asked me about it. So I told her, and she was like, "Oh, great! I'm gonna name the shop that because the ceilings and the floors have a lot of flamingos. So the shop is Flamazing." So I went there and I saw the construction, and she showed me the different corners of the house, and it's very well thought of. And I was just looking at even the doll's house that she built with the different sections, and I'm just seeing how she spent so much time. And I'm like, okay, this is really. This is me. Yeah, I love building stuff. So I've been really enjoying building. And also I think it trains my process muscle. My process muscle does need a little bit of training because I'm very big-sighted. So I see the end, I see the vision, but the process is just like, oh, when are we getting there?
Yeah.
So this has been very exciting, and working with people, I think my leadership skills, I've enjoyed sharpening those. I've enjoyed seeing my team grow. Someone in my team got baptized. Someone in my team got a new car. Someone got a new apartment. There's just been so much growth. And I mean, these are just the big tangible things, but there's been so much growth, and it's exciting watching other people win. It's a feeling I really can't explain. And I think that's what building this house has been for me. It's like you watch other people win and find themselves and like grow, and it's like that sparkle, when Zani does maths and he gets it right. I asked him a division sum and I thought he wouldn't get it, and he got it, and I saw that sparkle in his eye. He said, "You see, I told you I'm a genius." And it really is that feeling of watching people, like it clicks for them with, oh, okay, this is what I'm meant to be doing. So yeah. All right, let's go to the wall of wisdom.
Wait, before that, I want to ask a question.
Okay.
What was a highlight of 2025 for you?
A highlight of 2025 for me.
Like, could be a moment.
I have so many.
Do you want to think about one?
I have a lot. Okay, the one that really popped up for me was, so I believe in firsts. Like, I really believe in firsts because one, in my family, I've been a first in a lot of things, and I know what it means to be a first, the barriers that you have to break, the resistance that you come upon, just the challenges, how hard it is. And one of the ladies in my team bought a car, and I said to her, I know this is your win, but this is my win. And I want you to know, because you're the first person to buy a car in my company, a company that I built, where in the beginning it was just me and you shooting content, just the two of us. And now we've grown a team, and now she's the first in her family to buy a car. And the first in my team to buy a car. So it felt like a gate has opened, So when I say abundance, like a gate of abundance has really been opened, and it's just a highlight for me. And I watched the process. It was hard, harder than usual. And every time I kept saying, there's a reason why it's hard. It's supposed to be hard, but you're going to get it. you're going to get it. And when it happened, I just couldn't believe that God would partner with me in having so much impact generationally, because things like that, being a first it's generational work. And I think even from the beginning when we started dating, I told you that I've been called to break generational things.
Yeah.
And then I just thought it was just about me and my little family. And it's just like every time I just partner with God, he shows me how much generational work he can do with me if I just obey.
Sure. That's so beautiful.
That's the first time I cried on my podcast.
This might be the first time. I finally
You
broke you.
finally broke me.
I broke you. I'm so chuffed. But I think it's beautiful, because I think at the heart of what you do is you are called to, like, ever since I've known you, you believe in providing like employment.
Yeah.
Like that's one of your gifts.
Yeah. Platforms of purpose.
Creating spaces where people can make a living.
Yeah.
And I mean, even when you had your cleaning company, the company was not doing well. In fact, part of
Doing well. In my head,
it was not doing well enough that you would have a team. Like you had like more than 2 people.
Yeah, like
and I'm just like, how you just started this last week? How do you, but to see it now, like I think currently, like as things stand, like we employ maybe 11 people.
Yeah, 11, 12, yeah.
11, 12 people.
Yeah.
And to think, like where it started. And like when I say employ, I mean like they have payslips.
Yeah.
So it's just beautiful to see. And I think you deserve your flowers from me, right? Cheers. All right, let's do the other thing.
The word of wisdom, Bible verse you live by.
I was gonna tell you my highlight, but
I'm sorry.
it's so
I'm sorry.
it's like it just pales in comparison to what you just said.
Give it to me.
It's also about a car, but like a different thing. So my car broke, my little car. So I have a little Fiat Abarth that I cherish with all of me. And it broke. And I didn't know what the problem was.
It's
it
so
was
sad.
so expensive to fix. But then there was a point where I parked it at a park one time and I opened the bonnet.
Okay.
And I fixed it enough to get it to a place where it could be fixed. But the highlight was I realized that like things often seem more complicated than they are.
Yeah.
And that changed the way I looked at life. From that moment, I felt like I can fix stuff. Right? And I've always felt like, oh man, some things are complicated. But I realized that, I can actually fix something.
Yeah.
And you can picture me like in a park.
Brendan's not that kind of guy.
I'm not like the most handy guy.
No.
But like, give me a computer.
Give him a computer, give him a video, a camera.
But like, to open that and to be like, oh, okay, it's the coolant pump, and to cut a coolant pump and to strap it up and to do all that stuff.
This is you?
This was me. Like, I was sweating.
Yeah.
I was a man's man.
Your hands had oil, you had grease.
Your vest. So that moment was a highlight because it reminded me that at the very core of everything is simple fixes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right.
All right. Word of wisdom. Bible verse you live by.
Bible verse I live by. You see now. Keep your phone.
Keep your phone. What if your phone gets taken away and like one day we have to go to war and winning the war is based...
I know when you're out here misquoting stuff.
I didn't misquote. What did I misquote?
No, not misquoting, but like I want to get it right.
Oh. Like, paraphrasing.
Yes, I'm going to paraphrase. I can't paraphrase scripture. Oh, yeah, so it's James 1. It used to be just verse 5.
Yeah, every time like we have to do Bible reading with the family and you haven't prepared, you will like go to James. Every time you go to James, I'm just like, this man did not even try.
But like it used to be just verse 5. Okay. So James 1 verse 5 says, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you, right? But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Such a person is double-minded and unstable in all they do. You know? Believers in humble circumstances ought to take pride in their high position. You know? So it used to be that I used to love just okay, you know what, we can come to God and we can ask for wisdom, and we just have to have a humble heart.
Yeah, and believe.
But as life has gone, now it's James 1 verse 2.
Okay.
So starting literally 3 verses before, it says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." And I'm realizing that the completeness that I've been searching for does not come from a lack of trials. It comes from overcoming those trials and completing. So whatever you go through, you need to complete. Like, you've got to get to the other side.
So even if it's divine acceleration, you're still required to complete and let perseverance do its work.
That is the only way that you get to the other side. It says lacking nothing.
Lacking nothing.
So it's not to say you cannot be accelerated any other way.
Yeah.
You will still lack if you don't embrace the trials and learn the lessons. Those are the things that mature us.
That's good. Okay. A book or podcast you recommend?
A book or a podcast I recommend is Rich Wilkerson's Mature Me.
Yeah, you love that.
Oh, that's like my favorite.
Is it specifically for men or men and women?
It's mostly, his guests are mostly men.
So he speaks a lot to men. He's a great guy.
Yeah, I think it's good for men. Like, I think it's helpful, like, in growth. It's really about growing.
Yeah. A wise woman once said, or a wise man once said in your case.
Wise woman once said...
What's the word you said your mom said that you said to Nurisha?
A wise woman once said, "Wakenkela." So my mom would always say that if someone was singing badly, she'd say, "Wakenkela." So yeah, those are wise words. Like, so if you're a singer, please don't kenkela.
Thank you. I think we should have you more frequently. This is nice.
Is it? Yeah, as long as you guys have budget, I can avail.
That just goes against everything you just spoke.
What are you, top 5 podcasts?
Don't do that. Brenden, thank you for coming to the podcast. There's something I want to do, but I'll do it in the next episode. So I'm going to start doing reflections from my book, How Did We Get Here?
Oh, that's an amazing book.
Is it a good book?
That's one of the, like, no lie,
one of the best books ever.
One of the best books I've ever read. Granted, I've read like 6 books, but it's definitely top 6.
I wish you didn't say that, Grant.
It's top 6.
Top 6.
Top 6.
Yeah, so I'm going to because we've got reflections at the end of each chapter. So with my guests or conversation people, co-hosts, I'm going to start asking them, but I'll let you off the hook.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in today and sharing this space and conversation with me. I hope something we talked about resonates with you or helps you to pause, reflect, and notice your own journey. If you love this episode, don't forget, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and leave a review. This really helps us to reach more women and more people who need these conversations. Until next time, take care of yourself, drink some good coffee, celebrate little wins, and keep tending to your life with love and intention.